Okay, I'm going to be playing a number of songs that I co-wrote with an old friend of mine named Todd Jeffries. He was a friend in college, and then for a few years after as well. And then we sort of went in different directions, and then got back together again. And over the years, he's sent me all kinds of potential lyrics that I've crafted into songs, and he's quite the genius with the lyrics, in my opinion. Shut tight the door, a big storm is coming. Thunder rattles the panes, dark clouds roll over the hills, rain soaks through. Just like the ring, our breath disappears. Such is the power of small things. In winter we made tracks, coming through the snow. Imagine a place in time, a safe place to go. Our breath disappears, just like the ring. Such is the power of small things. All right, that's called The Power of Small Things. I wrote that over spring break. Here's another one. This is another one that Todd and I wrote together. Came back from my travels, movement seeking rest, a hatless hobo drifting. I'd completely failed the test. The swirl of our galaxy spinning into light. Chimes from the tower, fading like echoes in the night. spinning into light. Chimes from the tower, fading like echoes in the night. Wrote that one over spring break too. I think I'll introduce you to my guitar. This is my guitar right here. It's a 1927 Weissenborn guitar. It's a lap steel guitar that you play on your lap. It doesn't have any frets, so there's no other way you can play it, that's for sure. So made in 1927 by a guy in Los Angeles named Herman Weissenborn. So this is another song that we co-wrote together. I dream about the wildflowers that grew among the weeds out back, shirts flapping on a clothesline near a jacked up Cadillac, baseball kids yelling from a vacant lot. Many years ago, long time passing, many years ago, behind a row house there is an old garage. The sun is streaming in through a dusty window. Inside a smell of earth and oil. There's a pleasing dampness to the soil. Many years ago, long time passing, many years ago, a rake stands in one corner. I find a hammer, a forgotten wrench. A spider ponders cooler nights as she crawls across a bench. Is that the sound of voices? Just some dry vines shaking on a fence. It's only dead leaves swirling. Many years ago, long time passing, many years ago. Yeah, that one's called Voices in the Wind. That's on one of my albums, and a lady named Michelle Stroescu was the singer on that. I'm going to change guitars real quick. This other guitar is all tuned up in open G, so I'm going to get that one. And I'll introduce you to that guitar too. This is it's a fancier looking guitar. This was made in probably about 2012 or something like that by a guy in New Zealand. It's got rope binding and everything, pretty cool. Yeah. Tony Francis is the guy who made the guitar. So this is another Todd Jeffries and Stephen Houpt song. This one's called You Call Out to Him. Just for a moment, put yourself in my shoes. Maybe you see someone who's got nothing to lose, disappearing into the distance, walking along a line of railroad cars, and you call out to him, but he doesn't stop. But the wind that blows down the valley between the factories and the homes carries your voice above the rooftops. He doesn't stop. And he wouldn't have heard you anyway, and he wouldn't have heard you at all. Your voice calls out to him. He doesn't stop. But he wouldn't have heard you anyway, and he wouldn't have heard you at all. And he wouldn't have heard you anyway, and he wouldn't have heard you at all. Your voice calls out to him. He doesn't stop. And he wouldn't have heard you anyway, and he wouldn't have heard you at all. Yeah, it's called You Called Out to Him. You call out to him. Okay, I need to make another quick guitar change. Play this next song. It's in a real weird, odd tuning. So hang on just a second. I'll introduce you to my next song. Here's the guitar I'm going to play it with. It's called a National Tricone. It's a body made out of nickel-plated brass, and it has 3 resonating cones down here in this end that mechanically amplify the sound, made by the National Resophonic Company. Although they started making these things back in the 20s, about 27, 28, somewhere in there, they started making them. So anyway, it's got a much different sound than the other. drums rolled through the streets, spewing ashes. When burnt up hobo dreams everywhere caught fire, sending small sparks like bits of broken glass among the rubble. Reflection clear as a starry night, and quiet as the Zendo crickets. The flickering faces of shadowy friends in the circle of light. All the fires went out at daybreak. The hobos took the boards to build shacks of aluminum. They were gone, and now only emptiness remains. It was a time when drums rolled through the streets, spewing ashes. When burnt up hobo dreams everywhere caught fire, sending small sparks like bits of broken glass among the rubble. Reflection clear as a starry night, and quiet as the Zendo crickets. that's the Zendo crickets. Now, in case you don't know what a Zendo is, it's the meditation hall of a Zen monastery. It's called the Zendo. My friend was way into meditation and Zen Buddhism, and he wrote all these stories about this hobo that was also like a Zen Buddhist. His name was Beekman, and he just wrote all this stuff. He was crazy. It was back in the 70s. You know how it goes. I'm gonna change guitars one more time and do one more song at least. Bear with me. Yeah, back to the 1927 Weissenborn. I'll do a song that I wrote all by myself. I think I'll do a song about the Antiques Roadshow. Yeah, this is called Beer Glass. There was this guy that was on the Antiques Roadshow, and it was kind of amazing. Like, he got on there, he had this beer glass with like a laminated advertising thing on the glass. And he was an old man, kind of like me, maybe older. And he got on there, and and he heard all about his beer glass, and he had a little sticker on it that said 50 cents. He was going to sell this thing at a yard sale for 50 cents, and the appraiser told him it was worth $2,000. And this guy just cried and cried. He just couldn't believe it. So I wrote this song. Saw an old man cry the other night on the Antiques Roadshow when he found out how much his old beer glass was worth. I couldn't help wondering what had brought him to this point, why his voice had cracked so tenderly, and his face had shriveled face of a mother who'd just given birth.